directed, not shown on television, by Landon Jones. We have Brian as Robert, we have Natalie as Barb, and we have our lovely Maddie as stage manager. Thank you. What are you looking at me like that? Start whenever you're ready.
Barb is baking bread in the kitchen, slides the pan into the oven, and sets a wind-up timer to let it bake. She cleans up her environment and takes out a photo of a man from her purse for a few seconds and places it back. She resumes cleaning. Robert opens the front door, exhausted from work. He puts on a happy face.
Barbara, I'm home, dear.
Oh, honey, how I long to see you all day. How was the office?
Business was business. It sure beats being in the trenches. But now I'm home to my sweet Barbara.
He holds her in his arms.
Is that bread I smell?
Of course. Portuguese sweetbread. I know how much you like it, dear, so I got the ingredients from the market this morning.
Robert looks around the room and picks up a cigar from the cigar box.
I see the house looks dapper.
Just for you. Working all day at the factory must take a toil. Sit down and relax while I get dinner ready.
Robert lights the cigar.
You know, those cigars are going to kill you someday. Just last year, Carol from a few houses down said that her father smoked one a week, and you're puffing away at one a day.
I know, darling. But he was old. It was his age that took him.
Robert comes to Barb.
Look, my sweet Barbara, if it means that much to you, I'll quit.
Really?
Yes. Starting tomorrow, there won't be any vile abominations in this house. I'll repeat that before God, Barbara.
That's wonderful, Robert.
I have to remain pure for you. Isn't that great? Our house won't smell like a hangout for one of those street gangs.
Barbara is in her own head for a moment.
Yes, that's wonderful, dear. Robert, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Need me to run to the store again?
No, not that. I mean, the ladies have been talking, and I think I should take up a job at the factory on St. Anne Street.
Robert laughs at the silly question.
That's a good one, Barbara.
I'm serious, Robert. It can help us pay for some bills for a while. We don't have kids to take care of yet.
But we will have kids.
And what will that be? We've tried for years, and the doctor...
The doctor isn't God, honey. We'll keep trying until God blesses us with a child.
I'm not Sarah, and you're not Abraham. I want to be just as much as you, but it doesn't seem possible right now. Besides, we need to get some money saved up so we can have a child. So I was just thinking...
That doesn't mean it can't happen. You know I'm right.
Very well.
Robert,
You're right.
Robert embraces Barb.
Our children will be beautiful, smart, caring, and an embodiment of our love for each other. I'm excited, Barbara. I think you should be too.
I love that, dear, but I'm concerned that they won't turn out how we hope. You've heard the devil's music on the radio? What if they start partying and showing their knees?
Robert reaches for the newspaper. The front says White Rabbit Academy.
And we won't have to worry about that. Look here, White Rabbit Academy. It says here each child wears a slick uniform and 98% attend college. Isn't that wonderful? They'll help keep our kids straight and narrow.
And the price?
Price?
Studies the newspaper. Robert picks up and smokes a barely lit cigar from the ashtray.
$1,340
Per year?
per semester.
Per semester, honey, we can't afford that. We're already behind in bills, and you're still smoking that cigar.
Robert points the cigar at Barb.
I said I'd stop tomorrow, and I'll figure out the money, honey. Don't worry. Just wait a little bit. I've got it under control.
Well, one thing I can do is work at the factory for a while.
Don't ever talk about the factory again. We can't do that.
Well, maybe I just want to do something other than clean a barren house and wait 70 years for a baby.
Have some faith, honey. I'm sure it'll be shorter than 70 years.
We'll make it 30 then. Cut the sweet talk, Robert. I might as well just walk out already.
Robert stares in disbelief.
You were planning on leaving me?
No,
Where would you have gone?
Barb says nothing.
nowhere. I wouldn't leave.
Stop lying to me, Barbara. I see right through you.
Las Vegas.
All the way out there? Are you kidding me? Sin City is full of sin. That's not you, Barbara. I don't believe it.
Smoking, drinking, gambling. It's not like I haven't seen you slip back into that cigar habit from your youth.
And I've been turning away from them ever since our Lord Jesus brought me out of hell.
But you're not pure. Do you know why we're out of money? All those cigars you keep puffing on.
Robert swallows his rage.
I'm trying.
I have to go, Robert. I wasn't going to, but I have to go. You haven't fixed anything since we started this marriage.
So you'll just run out the door, party like you're the prodigal son, and end up homeless?
I'm not going to party. Robert, I have to tell you something. I don't want you to hear it from the neighbors.
Robert stops what he's doing and listens intently.
I've been writing to a man. He's in Las Vegas.
Barb pulls out a picture of the man from her purse and moves it to Robert. Robert focuses his attention on the picture.
When you were off at war, we met in town. He was stopping by in his semi-truck. We got to know each other a little and started writing. He claims he loves me, and I don't know if I do yet. All I know is that during these years of marriage with you, hasn't been perfect.
Barbara, do you love me?
I feel like I used to.
Barb moves away from Robert.
I was so infatuated with you at first. You're tall, handsome, charming. Looked like you had your whole life figured out with a spot for me to sit and watch. I bought into it for a while, but I want more, Robert.
The timer goes off in the kitchen.
You broke your vow. On our wedding day, you swore before God that you would be with me until death.
I know I did. I didn't want to. I feel like I have no choice.
There's a choice, Barbara. You continue in your sin, or you stay with me. No exception.
The oven begins to smoke.
I'm not choosing. I'm deciding. I'm leaving you.
A fire breaks out in the kitchen.
Barbara, don't do this, please.
I can't be here anymore. You're dangling me by strings.
Barb turns around towards the front door and sees a fire breaking out in the kitchen. At this moment, Robert also notices the fire and covers Barb as they both sprint for the door. The house is consumed in flames. The stage slowly becomes black. 3 months have passed since the fire. The kitchen has a black light over it, removing it from the rest of the stage. The rest of the house is messier than before. Robert sits in his chair and reads a book. He's troubled by the fact that he has had communication with Barb since the fire. The doorbell rings and Robert gets up to answer it. When he opens the door, Barb stands properly before him.
Barbara, hi.
He guides her into the house.
Would you like me to take your coat? Your bag?
Barb takes off her coat and puts it on the hanger next to the door. They both move to the living room and sit at opposite sides of the set. There is a moment of silence.
Where did you go?
I went with the man in Las Vegas.
How is he?
He was charming. He spoke the way he wrote, and I adored that. Being with him under the lights of the city was a dream.
I see you're quite fond of him.
I was quite fond of him. That dream ended after a while. He became stale like a loaf of bread left out overnight. Not to mention he was 30 years older, and I wasn't expecting that.
So why are you back here?
I was hoping we wouldn't get into this right away, but I want to apologize for my behavior. It was cruel and improper. Can you forgive me, Robert?
Barbara, forget the formalities.
But I left you.
I know.
Then let me
You
apologize.
shouldn't.
I need to. Robert, you can't just shut me down. I left you here after the fire. I went after another man. I broke my vow.
And I disrespected you. I know why you left me. I was a horrible husband. I never valued your opinion when we were in a financial crisis. I was blinded by all the smoke from my cigars. For 3 months I sat
He points to his recliner.
in my chair, thinking about the life I lived with you. I didn't treat you right. I'm sorry.
There you go, apologizing to me. Guess we're both imperfect.
Look, you don't have to come back here.
I'd love to.
I've changed my ways. No longer that man from 3 months ago. I'll even help you find a job in town.
Are you sure? The house doesn't exactly look clean.
Don't worry. I'll try my best.
No, I'll help you out. And then we'll worry about the job.
That's fine by me.